I don't know how to protect you this time.
Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review. I just saw The Conjuring, Last Rites, which of course is the fourth Conjuring movie, the 10th movie overall in the whole series. And before going into this movie, I had never watched any of these except for the first Conjuring and the first Annabelle. And I'd only seen those a couple years ago, so I did a whole marathon of the whole series for like the past 2 weeks, trying to catch up for this one. And I don't know what it is. Over the years, I just sort of... I always wanted to watch all of them, but, like, another one would come out, I'd be focused on something else, and, I want to watch everything before I watch a new one, So I never had the chance to, like, see all of them and then finally catch up. Sort of like how Mission Impossible this year, the final one, I finally sat and watched all of them, and, that was very rewarding. It's still one of my favorite movies of the year. I know a lot of people don't like that one. But with Conjuring Last Rites, and I'm pretty sure this is the last one, because the way it ends, it's very final, I feel. They could do another Nun, they could do another Annabelle or something, whatever, but for The Conjuring and, like, Ed and Lorraine Warren's characters, I'm pretty sure this is the last one. I haven't been really seeing a lot of talk online about, like, they're gonna do a fifth one, or, it's a possibility, whatever. So, yeah, like I said, go into this thinking it's the final movie, because I'm pretty sure it is. So, premise of this one, basically, this is the final case, apparently, Ed and Lorraine Warren ever took. Now, I'm not an expert on them. Like I said, I just got into all these movies. I was familiar, of course, with the first movie and some Annabelle stuff, but, yeah, going through this was a ride. Like, all these movies, most of them are just okay. The first two Conjurings are great. I love those. Annabelle Creation, which was like the prequel one, that one was good. The other two Annabelles were just, not that good. And then the Nun movies were okay. The Curse of La Llorona, that one was okay as well. And this is directed by the same guy that did Conjuring 3. He did La Llorona. He did Nun 2, I believe, and then he did this one. So he's done 4 now. Michael Chavez, right? So I did my research, because, of course, James Wan started this whole thing, and he's, like horror king. The 2 James Wan movies are the best ones. That's not a surprise. So in this movie, you have Ed and Lorraine. They're sort of retired at this point. This does take place in the 80s, and they're sort of losing popularity. They're still doing their little seminar things, but there's less people going to them, and the people that do go to them kind of make fun of the stuff they're talking about. And again, I don't know how true, obviously in these movies they exaggerate the fuck out of what's going on, obviously. Anyways, so they're basically retired. They just want to focus on being a family. Their daughter Judy is basically a main character in this one. She was the main character in Annabelle 3, and it's cool to see, like, they include her and stuff, because, again, I don't know if she was, this deep into it, as the movie portrays, but it was cool to see that, because they do have a child, and at the end of the day, she is young, she's an adult, she should be participating at some point. So there's a family in Pennsylvania that is going through something crazy in their house, and, they've dealt with stuff like this before, but this thing they're dealing with shares a certain connection with the Warren family, in particular the daughter, Judy, and there's a flashback that explains all that, So basically, once this stuff starts happening, Judy and her mom essentially feel the presence of something happening, something's going on, and they get involved, and yeah. I saw this in IMAX, and they did shoot certain parts with the IMAX camera, because the screen does fill up for certain sequences, and I didn't know that going in, so that was pretty cool. And I don't know what it is. I think because I never saw any of these movies in a theater, it was way more effective for me. I've said in other reviews, I don't really get scared by horror movies, really, like the jump scares or anything like that, or the, disturbing things, or gore or anything like that. Nothing really bothers me. But seeing this kind of movie in IMAX, some like 2 or 3 of the jump scares actually got me a little bit. Like I jumped like a little bit, not like crazy, but I did jump a little bit. I'll admit it. So that was cool. Definitely the sound difference. As opposed to watching it at home or something. So definitely see this in IMAX if you get a chance. The movie was very good though, and I know I'm saying this with recency bias because I just marathon all these and I'm invested and it's the final one, but this one really, like, I don't know what it is. It really like kind of pulled on my heartstrings a little bit at the ending, because the ending sort of, like I said, wraps everything up in a very neat way, at least in my opinion. And I don't know what it was. I felt a little emotional about it. Like for me, the Conjuring movies, in the whole series, with including Annabelle and the Nun and all that stuff, the Conjuring movies are the best ones in the series by a mile because of Ed and Lorraine Warren's characters. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, these guys are like amazing with each other. Like I love their characters and their chemistry. The second movie really solidified it for me when he sings the Elvis song with the guitar. I just, man, I don't know what it is. Something about that scene, really, I love that scene. That was great. Probably my favorite part about Conjuring 2 was the dynamic with Ed and Lorraine. And going through all these movies and seeing their ups and downs and everything they've been through, I don't know. I was just very emotionally invested in them and, their daughter. The reason why this is their final case, apparently, is because of how personal it was to them, because their daughter is involved, along with her boyfriend, and there is a connection that I won't delve into because maybe spoilers potentially. But yeah, I could see this makes sense to be their final case because the shit that happens is pretty bonkers. Yeah. And there is plenty of scares obviously to be had. There is some gore in the movie, nothing crazy. These movies aren't really about gore; they're more about the psychological. And this one does a good job of that. I definitely like this one more than the last Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. That one was okay to me. Same director, like I said, but I feel like this one really stepped it up. This movie was a lot better. So I want to give this a B plus, but I'm probably gonna give it a B minus because at the end of the day, I'm trying to like not have recency bias anymore with my reviews because I know down the line as time goes by, I'm not going to view this as a B plus. It's a B minus. Like it's not that good, but it's very good. It is good. It was enjoyable. Like I said, some of the scares did get me. The characters were all great. Of course, Ed and Lorraine Warren are amazing. And then their daughter Judy, her boyfriend, Tony, right? That's his name, Tony. I actually liked his character. He has a little bit of a backstory that the actor did a very good job, I think. And then the family that all gets haunted or whatever, they all did good, I think. A lot of young actors in there. So yeah, very good movie. Not quite on the James Wan level of the first two, but still very good. So I'm going to give it B minus, like I said, 7 out of 10. Go see it. If you're a fan of The Conjuring, let me know your ranking in the comments. You can do all the movies, all 10. I'm going to drop a ranking on my Letterboxd account, so feel free to check that out. But yeah, very good. I definitely want to check out like Insidious next. That's another one. And like Paranormal Activity. Those are 2 big ones I never watched either, I want to watch all those too. So, because, it is spooky season now. So, but I don't really have much else to say. My only thing with these movies, it's like an experience. Like horror movies in general are definitely an experience. So seeing this in a theater, gives it more credit than what it's probably worth. You know what I mean? Like down the line, like I said, if I rewatch it one day on TV, it's not going to have the same effect, So that's why I kind of like I'm going towards the B minus grade because at the end of the day, it's not like that great of a movie, but as the final concluding chapter in this series, that's been for the most part good. It did a very good job, I think, and it was effective. Great visual stuff, some cool camera tricks too, But yeah, I don't have much else to say. That's really about it. Go see it. Next week is The Long Walk, which I'm excited for. It's been getting good early reviews, and it's based on a Stephen King story, and the trailers look promising. So Yeah, I would love to go to that screening they have. I think it's only in California, but like Lionsgate's doing a screening where you have to walk on a treadmill at 3 miles per hour for the whole movie, and if you stop, you get kicked out the theater. I actually want to try that because that's it might not sound challenging, but like walking at that pace consistently for almost 2 hours will probably get tiring. But I'm in decent shape, so I feel like I could do it. Um, but yeah, I live in Florida, so there's no chance of that happening, and I think you have to get invited to it or something. I don't know. But yeah, if they do one of those down here, I'll definitely go to it. So, but yeah, that's next week. So, anyways, let me know what you thought of the film in the comments and drop your rankings, like I said. And am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye bye.